Well, they thought he was dead, but then they got a surprise. It all began that night when a fella got tenderized. Well, Cielo got tired after breathing all the spray. Dreams he was young, so a motor drive away. Oh, what a sight to get bloody at the Clown Cafe. The clown met a little girl with bad teeth and linky bows. You make a really loyal pal if you're not too attached to your head now. Well, if you get cornered by the creepy man, you best not have no bleach at hand, 'cause he's crazy, crazy and wants to come out and play. Oh no, it's Art the Clown, run, hide, scream and shout. Look out, it's Art the Clown, he'll eat your heart right out. He stalks, knocks, shocks and quarks, well this is it, he won't stop, well holy shit, get him up, he's gonna knock you down, use your spleen for a growl.
And that was Jeff Whitmire with his song, Art the Clown. So back when I joined Horror Twitter, one of the groups that I got to know was the Mutant Fam. They are this big group of Twitter users, these people that love to get together and watch The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs together. And one of the prominent members is Jeff Whitmire. Jeff has been dubbed the Weird Al Yankovic of horror movies because he's an incredibly talented musician and songwriter, and he makes these amazing parodies that all have to do with horror movies. And I've been listening to his stuff for as long as I've been a part of the horror community on Twitter. And so when Andrew and I decided that we were going to do Terrifier 2, I knew that Jeff had done this song, Art the Clown, and I reached out to him and I asked him, hey, can we play some of your song at the beginning of the episode? And graciously, he said yes. So that was what you heard right there. And please, everybody, if you're on Twitter, go follow him. He's Jeff Whitmire there. On YouTube, he's Jeff Whitmire 47. He's got a whole bunch of videos. And from what I hear, he's got a full album of music coming out next year. He's an awesome guy, very talented. Go check him out. And without further ado, let's get to our show.
You're listening to Scotty and Andrew, and this is Fun with Horror.
Hello, all you beautiful horror fans out there. Welcome to episode number 72 of Fun with Horror, your weekly movie review podcast in which my best friend Andrew and I take turns giving each other movies to watch. And then we discuss them the following week. We have two major rules here at Fun with Horror. Number one, whoever picks the movie has to pick a movie they have never seen. And number two, we both have to watch that movie before we discuss it. At the end of the last episode, I chose our next movie, and that movie is Terrifier 2. Directed by Damien Leone, starring David Howard Thornton and Lauren LaVera. As you might know, everybody, we did Terrifier 1 last week, so if you haven't listened to that episode, go back and listen to it and then come on back. And of course, stay tuned to the end of this episode to hear what my buddy Andrew will be picking for our next episode. Also, just a quick aside, if you enjoy the podcast, please consider donating to Blue Cross. No, I'm kidding. Please go to Apple. I mean, you can donate money. It's great. But go to Apple Podcasts, go to Spotify. Please leave us a nice rating and or review. It would really help us a lot. And without further ado, Andrew, I love you.
I love you. I was hoping, I wish we had the rights to Sarah McLachlan so we could play some music there where you're like, if you could please leave us a.
Oh, I have the rights to Sarah McLachlan. She's locked in my bathroom. Sarah, she's McLachlan in my bathroom right now. Oh!
My man. I probably should have specified the rights to her song. Sorry, the rights to her song, not her as a person.
She's fumbling towards the doorknob right now.
Hey, get out of there.
Sarah McLachlan fans will recognize that reference. You don't, do you?
I don't recognize
her first album was called Fumbling Towards Ecstasy.
Oh, well, thank you. You hear this, people? Not only do you hear about horror, you learn something. You learn something at Fun with Horror.
Yeah. Scotty is a Lilith Fair maniac. Another old reference. Lilith Fair. I'm doing it.
Get out of here.
You know why I'm doing it?
Why?
Because I am drinking a wonderful gingerbread latte from a new horror cafe that happens to be up the street from me.
Dude.
There used to be a coffee place called City Vibes Cafe, or City Vibes Coffee, sorry. And one day I was driving and I looked over at it and I realized that they had changed the name to Horror Vibes Coffee.
Sweet.
It is amazing. It's a horror themed coffee shop.
That's awesome.
Right here in North Hollywood, California.
I think you posted some pictures about it.
I did. And you know where I posted them?
Where?
In the Fun with Horror Facebook group.
Whoa,
segue. And not the kind security mall cops use.
I love you.
Hey, everybody. It's a public group. It's on Facebook.
Yes.
And you know what? Here's the thing, buddy. When we first started the Facebook group, it was mainly just a way so that I didn't spam my personal Facebook page with Fun with Horror stuff.
Right.
For, all the people that don't like horror, they just want Bambi.
That's right.
But we are getting a Bambi horror movie next year. Never mind. We really are.
For that.
As I was saying, so it started out, and I would just post about the podcast. Hey, This is what's coming next episode. Hey, this is what we just posted today, blah blah blah. But lately, man, it's starting to become fun.
It is. It is fun
with horror. With horror. We've got a member named Rachel Ann who posts lots of funny horror memes and information. Awesome. And honestly, that's a big part of the reason that I started to become more active with posting horror movie news and stuff like that. So, and that's where people might know the news that Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey is about to be released in, I think, February.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And the same maker of that movie is going to be making a Bambi themed horror movie.
Lots of fun news. Yeah.
Lots of fun news. Did I have something else?
Let's see.
There was a third thing. Coffee.
Yeah.
Facebook group.
Sarah
McLachlan.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There she is, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Mary.
And how much I love my girlfriend.
Aww. Everyone loves Mary.
Everyone there, there's something about Mary.
Oh, I got that reference.
But one thing about Mary.
What?
She did not watch Terrifier 2 with me.
So, did you figure out what you're dressing up as tomorrow?
He wants to dress up as a real guy who murdered 9 people last year.
Oh, you're not doing that.
It's just a costume.
You think that guy's still out there?
What's up with you and this clown all of a sudden? You're like obsessed.
They never found his body. What if he decides to come back here?
I wouldn't worry about it.
Wait a minute, aren't you that guy from the costume shop?
Sir, what are you doing?
It wasn't me. He was covered in blood on his shirt and his hands when he got here.
I'm telling you, it was him, Ellie. Right down to the little black dot on the tip of his nose.
You're really weird, you know that?
I believe him.
About what? Something really bad's gonna happen tonight.
No, I know when Jonathan's lying, okay? I could hear it in his voice. Something's wrong.
Look, we're gonna have fun. Stress-free environment.
Yep. Speaking of surprises, kids, we have a very special guest with us today, all the way from Miles County. Please welcome Art the Clown.
Already friends with horror. Last week we did talk about Terrifier. This week we're doing Terrifier 2. Now just a heads up, we are going to spoil Terrifier 2, and we may say a couple things from Terrifier 1.
Oh, we're going to spoil Terrifier 1 as well.
Yeah, so just, I recommend if you haven't listened to our last podcast, hop on there. If you do not mind spoilers, though, stick around, listen to this. If you don't want spoilers, pause it, go watch 1 and 2, Terrifier 1 and 2, or listen to our last podcast, do whatever you want, and then come back and listen to this one. But like we said, we are going to spoil these movies. So if you don't want spoilers, pause it now. Without further ado, though, man, this one, like we just said, the 3-minute recap on this is going to be very interesting. So I want to make sure I want to make sure you're ready for this, buddy.
But first, I want to say, buddy,
lay it on me.
You hit me with some nostalgia there when you said hop on that or whatever.
Yeah,
it made me think of the classic Dr. Seuss novel Hop on Pop.
I don't remember that.
I love that book.
I don't know. I don't remember that one. Hop on Pop.
All right, you ready for me to attempt a 3-minute recap of this movie?
Oh gosh, yeah. Whenever you're ready, man.
Here's the thing. I even tried to practice this.
Yeah.
And I didn't get very far, so I have no idea how I'm going to do this.
Lay it on us. You know what? We don't even have this. Let's call this one a whatever minute recap. You do what you got to do. All right.
No, I die if I don't make it under 3. So.
Well, am I at least in your life insurance policy?
Here, see this bookmark that I'm showing you on Zoom right now?
I do. Oh, that's awesome.
It's a Krampus bookmark.
That is
Krampus
sweet.
Bookmark that I got from Cavity Colors.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool. So you get that. You get that if I die.
Worth it. All right, do your 3-minute recap, you fool. Whenever you're ready.
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of heat time.
All right, Terrifier 2 picks up right after Terrifier 1. After Art is resurrected in the coroner's office, he kills the coroner. Then he goes to a laundromat, cleans his stuff up. And then the rest of the movie takes place 1 year later. We are introduced to Sienna, who is a young girl a college-age girl who likes to make cosplay. And she's got a family history. Anyway, so we eventually get to Halloween of a year later after the events of Terrifier 1. And basically, Art returns and he starts terrorizing Sienna and her friends. He kills her friend Allie. Then, and then Sienna eventually decides she's going to put on her warrior princess costume or whatever. And she goes out. They go out to a club. Art goes to her house, kills her mom, kidnaps her brother. Then Art has this little girl who's with him, a little female Art, basically. And there's a lot to that. And we'll discuss it. Trust me. Anyway, she calls Sienna using her little brother's voice and tells her to come to this abandoned carnival to get him. So Sienna and her friend Brooke and Brooke's boyfriend, they all go to the carnival. Sienna gets out to look for her brother. Art shows up at the car, kills the boyfriend, then chases Brooke inside, kills Brooke. Sienna and Art fight. Art ends up pushing Sienna down into this hell portal, this doorway in a floor. And then he goes up and he starts to eat her brother. And as he's eating her brother, Sienna is resurrected by this sword that she's had the entire movie. She gets up, she saves her brother by stabbing Art in the back and then decapitating him. Cut to the insane asylum. This is a bonus credit sequence. Oh, the little clown girl takes Art's head, cradles it like a baby, and walks out. We cut to this bonus scene where Victoria is back in the insane asylum after destroying Monica Brown's face, and she is giving birth to something. She's writing things on the wall with blood, and she's giving birth. The orderly nurse comes to her room, and what do we find? She has given birth to Art the Clown's head. And that is the end of the movie.
Dude, under 3 minutes. Well done. And that was
I skipped a lot.
As you know what? It was good. You got the beats. That's what I was hoping.
I did, and I realized as I was recapping it that it wasn't going to be as hard as I thought.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, as you were doing it, I was like, oh yeah, okay, we're towards the end. That's yeah, not bad.
Yeah. So
oh my gosh. Okay, dude. This movie, as we kind of talked about this last episode, but this movie had people in theaters throwing up, passing out, losing their minds. What did you think? How did this affect you? What let's hear what your thoughts on Terrifier 2, buddy.
Buddy, let me tell you, man. Terrifier 2.
Yeah.
My main question going in was, how are they going to top the hacksaw scene? I think everybody was asking that.
Yeah, I think you're
going
right.
into this movie. But let me tell you something. As soon as it started, as soon as the intro, as soon as Sienna was introduced, I started falling in love with this movie. And
nice.
I told you before, in preparation for this podcast, I watched this movie 3 times, twice just watching the movie, and then once with Damien Leone's commentary, which was excellent, by the way. I love this movie. I've got some critiques.
Oh yeah.
But I love this freaking movie.
All right.
They took, in my opinion, the idea that started in the first movie and they just went off the walls with it. Like, they just went crazy with it and just opened up this whole new story. It is not the straightforward guy in a clown costume killing people story that the first movie was.
No.
I really feel like this movie is what Damien Leone wanted Art the Clown to be. And we're going to get into that because, honestly, I had questions and Damien Leone answered them in the commentary.
Good.
So I am ready to explain to you stuff and blow your mind a little bit.
Please do, because I have lots of questions about this movie, and I'm hoping
overall,
you can answer them.
Overall, what did you think?
I liked it. I don't think I loved it like you did. And I think part of that is because I have a lot of like unanswered questions. And there's other things, we'll discuss it, but I liked it. I did not love it like you did.
Compared to Terrifier 1.
I mean, I liked Terrifier 1 too, so I would say pretty similar. I don't know.
Not better, not worse, just similar.
Yeah, pretty similar. Pretty similar.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my overall questions maybe made this one a little less likable than the first one because of those questions, which again, if you can answer them today, it might change my opinion.
Well, remember, as I said, it's not really me answering them. Damien Leone is answering them.
Well,
so before we recap this entire movie, before we talk about anything else.
Yes, sir.
Let's not make our listeners wait. If you've seen Terrifier 2, okay, I hope you have.
Yes.
Out there. Here's what I learned from Damien Leone and why I fell in love with this movie, especially after listening to his commentary.
Okay. I'm excited.
So obviously Art the Clown is resurrected.
Right.
The force that resurrects him is supposed to be mysterious. Okay. It is an evil force that resurrects Art so that Art can continue to kill, mutilate, and be a sadistic, homicidal maniac towards people.
Right.
But there's also a force of good out there. So
Got it. Yeah.
remember that.
Sense.
This whole movie is about the classic battle between good and evil.
Right.
But it gets into a spiritual battle besides just, you know what? I did this last episode and I'm sorry. Guys, Ziggy, leave Bowie alone. I'm going to get the squirt bottle, okay? Poor Bowie. Are you okay, Bowie? Hi, baby.
Bowie.
Oh, God, knocking stuff over now. Okay. Okay, back to where was I? Good and evil. Okay, great.
Yes.
All right, big questions.
Okay.
The little girl.
Yes.
The little clown girl. So basically, when Art is resurrected, evil is then brought into this world, into our world, and personified as this little girl who we learn later in the movie is also in Art's world. This may be also a personification, an evil personification of one of Art's first victims.
Right. Yes. Yeah. The girl at the circus.
And there are rules to this evil personification that this little girl is. Not everybody can see her.
That's my question. Right.
As we see in the beginning, the guy in the laundromat can't see her.
Right.
However, certain people can, and those people are people that are connected to Art in a certain way.
Okay.
So that's who the little girl is.
Gotcha.
Personification of evil.
Okay.
And obviously Sienna and her brother can see her, as well as Art.
Right. Yeah.
I don't remember if anybody else was able to see her during the movie.
I
think it was only Sienna and her brother.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay, so the next question is Sienna's dad. There's a big mystery with what happened with Sienna's dad. Yep. We find out that he died. He had a brain tumor, and that the brain tumor, he started to see things because of the brain tumor. And I'm sure you had the same thought at some point that I did, that maybe Art the Clown was her dad.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yep. But I don't think that's true because, according to Damien Leone, her dad was a vessel. The forces of good, the spiritual forces of good, used her dad as a vessel. And they inhabited her dad, but they also gave him, like, that's why he got a brain tumor, because he was being used as a vessel.
Okay.
But the forces of good needed to use that vessel to go from her dad and then eventually to Sienna, because Sienna was meant to be the force of good that could defeat the ultimate evil, Art the Clown.
Okay.
You with me?
Yeah, I'm still there.
There's other little things. Okay, so the dream at the beginning. This was very cool.
The Clown Cafe dream?
The Clown Cafe dream.
Okay. Yeah. It's a catchy song too.
Damien said this is not just an ordinary dream. It's not just a dream sequence. Basically, what that dream personified, the forces of good were testing Sienna. They were putting her in this unbelievable situation, in this reality, in this hell, to see how she would react, to see if she had the courage and the willpower to fight against Art.
Interesting.
And when she reaches into that cereal box, when she
cuts her hand,
subjects her hand to unknown horrors and damage to eventually pull out the sword and hold back the fire that Art shoots at her, she had passed her test.
Interesting. Okay.
So, yes, that portal at the end of the movie or in the last act was a portal to hell.
Okay.
So when Sienna is pushed into it, Art kills her. He does kill her.
Right. Yeah.
She is pushed into that hell portal. And her personal hell is the Clown Cafe. And she drowns in the Clown Cafe. But then the forces of good, they realize that she has passed her test. They need her. Art foolishly in his in his hubris, drops the sword right there.
Right.
Because he just thinks he's a killer. He's just going to kill everybody.
Right.
The sword, yeah, it was just a tool for him. So he drops the sword, and the forces of good use that sword to resurrect Sienna, just like the forces of evil resurrected Art. And that's how she comes back.
Okay.
And succeeds against Art.
Right. Right. Good conquers evil.
I think that's most of the questions.
Okay. Yeah. Let me look now through my questions.
That's the subtext.
Just to make sure. Okay. Yeah. How'd they see the ghost girl? How did the dad know Art? How did Sienna get powers? How did Vicky give birth to the head? That was another question I had.
Oh, yes. So
that's it, though. Those are my questions.
So Victoria, it's a way for Art to come back for another movie.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And this was a really cool conversation that Damien had on the commentary. So obviously the little girl, she cradles Art's head and takes it away.
Right.
The pale girl is what they call her.
Okay.
During the Victoria scene, that's the pale girl. She is possessing Victoria, which we see a hint of when Victoria's eye starts glowing. Because that's a sign that the pale girl has possessed her.
Okay.
Now, in the original script, Victoria was going to reach behind her head and find that she was bleeding, and then she was going to start opening up the back of her head, and Art was basically his face was going to be in the back of her head, and that's how he's coming back. He's coming back through Victoria's head.
Gotcha.
But then Damien Leone saw the movie Malignant. And he was like, well, we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, that's funny, dude.
So they came up with the giving birth to Art's head. So that's basically just the pale girl, evil personified, using Victoria to bring Art back into the world.
Okay.
And I'm sure there'll be some crazy scene in Terrifier 3 with the Art's body growing back or something like that. It's going to be insane.
Or he's going to be like put on someone else's body. It'll be ridiculous, but whatever they do, like in a fun way.
So I'm going to let this sit with you for a second.
All right. Well, I just feel like that's great. Why didn't they explain that?
Well, here's the thing. Even Leone was saying in the commentary, because Leone's commentary, besides being awesome, because he also talks about how they did certain effects and all that, he talks constantly.
Nice. That's awesome.
I've heard commentaries where the director or the people present are sitting there too busy watching the movie, and they're like, "Yeah, this was fun. It was really cold that night."
Dumb. Yeah.
But Leone's great, and one thing he keeps saying, he's like, I shouldn't really, I need to leave stuff to the imagination. I want to leave stuff up to the interpretation. But then right after that, he starts talking about like he starts telling exactly what it was, what's happening.
That's awesome.
So that was great. I loved his commentary.
All right. That's good to know. That might be one I need to listen to then.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
It's on the commentary, I'm sure is going to be on the Blu-ray. But it's also I have the movie on Apple, and the commentary is part of that, so you have access to that. Nice. So there you go.
All right, interesting. So those are I guess he answered my questions. I like that, and I do like that the personification of good. Of course, she has angel wings. Haha.
Yeah.
You know, not very subtle. I think that's that. I like that. I will say I was disappointed that her angel wings burned, because those were sick, man. Those were really cool wings. I was like, and I even knew, I was like, oh, she's going to wear these. There's going to be some fight or something. She's going to have these angel wings. And when they burned, I was like, oh, well, that's a waste. I was like, that sucks. But she gets other ones. But still, I liked hers better. They were really cool. They did a good job on those.
Okay, so let's Terrifier 1, we were critical of the acting.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say that I was very, very pleased that the acting in this movie was 100 times better.
Yes.
For the most part.
Yep, for the most part. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like Lauren LaVera.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She is incredible.
She's awesome. She was great in this, dude. She was fun
She
to
was
watch.
fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I watched it, the more I just like, man, I fell in love with her character.
Yeah, I did too. I thought she was a cool. This was what I was hoping for a final girl for these movies. Like
Yeah.
we didn't really get one in the last one.
Right,
But,
right.
you know,
Unless you count
technically.
Victoria.
Right. But I mean like a hero final girl. And this one, she's like an awesome final girl. She's like a has powers final girl. So I thought that was cool. So I'm on board. I'm Team Sienna all the way.
Also, as much as I loved Lauren LaVera as Sienna, wait, I have it written down. Dang it, Scotty. Why don't you have these things ready?
Oh gosh.
Kailey Hyman as Brooke.
She was really good.
She was
really good.
Amazing.
Yeah. I would say, yeah, she might have been like, she was really good. She was fantastic in this. Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me while I pick my nose. See, this is the thing. We're recording on Zoom and you can see these things. Before I could just pick my nose and you couldn't see, and I'm just like, hey, but now I have to be like, oh crap. Sorry, buddy.
Hey, no judgments here, friend.
Just a quick pick, buddy. Quick
you're
picks.
Good. Hey, you're good. You do it.
Back to Brooke.
Yeah, back to Brooke.
But yeah, she had so many line reads and reactions that were just so authentic.
Agreed. And that whole, honestly, her whole chase scene with Art felt very realistic. I thought she looked scared. She looked like it was going to be the end of her life. She did a very good job.
And I also loved her sitting in the car with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I have his name written down as well. Anyway, but yeah, she's sitting in the car with her boyfriend, and I really liked their conversation. You know?
Yep. Just natural. Like both of them were very natural in that scene. It was just like a regular. They weren't acting. You know, it didn't seem like it.
Exactly. And even Damien Leone mentioned that.
Oh, nice.
He said that they had this really, really amazing chemistry, and that it was really fun to watch them just kind of play off each other.
Nice. That's awesome. They did. Yeah, that was a great scene.
Jeff is his name.
Jeff.
So let's address the art in the room. Get it? I didn't say elephant.
You said art. Like the clown.
I should have said let's address the clown in the room, I guess, right?
You really dropped the ball. You had an opportunity.
Podcast over.
Yeah, we're done.
Okay, so but seriously, let's talk about one thing.
Yes.
In Terrifier 1, we had the hacksaw scene.
Yes. Yeah.
In Terrifier 2, we have the death of Allie.
Yes, the scene that made people apparently vomit.
Is it?
And that was that's what I read. It was
okay.
The infamous bedroom scene, they call it.
What did you think?
Yeah.
Should I describe it?
Yeah, go for it, man. I mean, it's
all right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're gonna get into other parts of the movie. I don't know if we're gonna do a full talk through of every plot point.
That's all right. Yeah,
because I like talking about the key moments with this one.
I agree. Yep.
So Art comes to Allie's house,
mm-hmm.
And he gets inside. We'll get into that, I guess. But he chases her upstairs to her bedroom,
mm-hmm.
grabs her from behind, slices her face down her eye.
Yeah. Yikes.
That's the first thing he does.
Yes.
Then he grabs
Buckle
her
up
hair.
Too, by the way, everybody.
Buckle up, everybody. This is going to be another explicit episode.
Yeah, this is just the beginning of poor Allie's death. So
oh my God.
We're jumping in.
He grabs her by the hair. He takes
mm-hmm.
these little scissors. They're not even like big ass scissors or anything. They're like little,
like for nails or something. Like little. Yeah.
Starts cutting her forehead and pulling her scalp off.
By the way, hold on, I gotta interrupt you.
Yeah,
it's so much more fun watching you do this because you're mimicking kind of what's happening as well, and it's beautiful. I love it.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, man.
So yes, as I did the scalping motion,
yes.
with my hat on. He pushes her onto the bed.
Yes.
Okay. And he starts just slicing into her back.
Yeah, dude.
Like just not even like haphazard slashes, like deep slashes.
Yes.
And her
Stitches.
legs.
Yeah.
And pulls her skin off. Like,
yeah, dude.
just pulls her skin back. Okay. Then he grabs her arm, pulls it back, breaks it at the elbow, and then just pulls and pulls until he rips the forearm.
Yeah, exactly.
Half of her arm, just rips it off.
Yeah.
Okay. So now she's like, she's got half an arm.
Yeah.
Then he turns her around and he grabs her other hand, because this was her left arm.
Yes.
Then he turns around, he grabs her right hand, he grabs it by the fingers and just pulls it and splits her hand in half.
Yeah.
Just basically
through her forearm too. I mean, it just goes all the way down.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude. Can you imagine?
As my friend Andrew says, oofda.
Oofda. Oofda.
Then he just starts slashing her with a knife.
Yeah.
Just slash in the face, everywhere. He's just slashing her and blood's going in. And then he gets up and he leaves, right?
Right.
So then we're thinking, okay, it's going to cut away. No, it keeps going. So then we see her crawling on the floor.
Yeah.
Which, see, this is the part, and I'm going to stop here, buddy.
Okay. Probably good. Everyone take a breath.
Pee break.
Yeah.
So it gets into unrealistic territory for me.
Okay.
And it gets to that over the top moment that it's easy to remember this is just a movie.
Right. Okay.
Like it's brutal,
okay, gotcha,
right?
gotcha.
It's brutal, but
Yeah,
it's a movie. And anybody that had just gone through the trauma that art just dealt her, I don't even know if they'd still be alive.
I don't think so, man. I think you're gone after that.
They definitely wouldn't be crawling towards their iPhone.
No, that's true.
But then it gets worse. Art comes back in. He's got bleach and salt.
Yeah, dude. Oh my
and he pours bleach all over her cut up, bleeding body. Then he starts pouring salt on her, and he even takes a handful of salt and starts rubbing it into where he peeled her skin off her back.
Yeah.
Just rubbing it in. And then in just this chaotic, psychotic moment, you just see him quickly grab her face and just rip the skin, half of the skin of her face off. Just rip it. And then the scene ends.
Yeah. But she's still alive.
Yes. Well, we'll get to that, right?
Yeah. Gosh.
So Allie's mom comes home.
Yeah.
Comes in the house, sees the broken glass window that Art came in through.
Yes.
Goes upstairs and she opens the door. Is there anybody in your room?
No.
Yeah, you describe this one, buddy.
Well, isn't he? I'm trying to remember what he's doing to her, because he has Art's now on the bed holding her. He
has basically sliced her apart, like cut off, like it seems like her leg is in pieces.
Oh yeah.
But she's laid out,
you're right.
Like she's like a human buffet.
Yes.
And
that's what her mom walks in.
That's what her mom walks into and starts freaking out. Side note, this was inspired. Damien Leone saw an actual photo of one of Jack the Ripper's victims.
Oh my gosh.
And you can look it up online. I Googled it. It's there. It's pretty fuzzy because it's an old photo, but
right.
One of his victims is in a bed and she's just horribly mutilated.
Oh my
And Leone
gosh.
wanted to, in a way, recreate that.
Well,
but as you said, Art is sitting there cutting her apart and having a good time doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's happy.
While the mom's screaming. But then Allie's head animates.
Yes.
And it lifts up and she goes, Mom.
Oh my God.
So she's somehow still alive.
Yes. Oof, buddy.
Now here's a cool behind the scenes, buddy.
Yeah, let's hear it.
When you see the close up of Allie's head, that is a dummy head that they
really?
CG'd the actress's eyes onto.
That's really good.
I thought they had cut from like animatronic something or other to the actual actress.
Right.
But no, it was all the same dummy. Just
wow.
And they did that a few times at the end of the movie with Art's head.
Oh yeah.
It's a fake head, but they CG'd Art's face onto it.
Oh,
that looks so much better than like, I don't know. It looks good.
It does look good. Wow, that's really impressive. They definitely you can tell they had more money this time.
Yes, for sure.
This movie.
I mean, it was on an Indiegogo. Like people, it's Kickstarter.
Oh,
crowdfunding.
Really?
People crowdfunded this movie, and
what?
Yeah, big time.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. Wow, good for them.
So now that I've described this entire scene, what did you think of it?
It's cute.
Yeah, I leaned over and hugged my wife and kissed her. And
yeah,
we made sweet love after watching that scene.
It just, I thought if Disney Plus doesn't get the rights to this movie, I'm not sure what they would get the rights to. No, I get what you mean. It is. There's that moment of like disbelief of like, okay, this is just a movie. But I will say, watching it, I was like, this is a lot. Like I didn't pass out. I didn't throw up. I know this is a movie. I get that. But even so, I don't like torture. Like in movies, I'm not like a big torture fan. And this one, I was like, good Lord, like this is excessive. I get it. Like I get that he wants to make it.
He wants to top the hacksaw scene.
Exactly. Yeah. And he did.
You think he did?
I think he did. Well, maybe not. I mean, that hacksaw scene is pretty. I got to think about it.
See, I'm going to say that this scene was so over the top and it was so obvious to me that he was just going crazy trying to top that hacksaw scene.
Right.
And it was just insane.
Right. Yes.
Whereas the hacksaw scene came from out of nowhere.
Right.
And to me felt more real and more painful.
Yeah.
Like you're starting a rusty hacksaw at somebody's privates.
Right.
And then just sawing through the entire body. To me, that's more horrifying than just this insanity of what he did to Allie.
That's fair. That's a good point.
There is another part in Terrifier 2 that actually did disturb me a little bit more. So, well, let's skip forward a little bit.
All
right. Sienna's mom goes out to the garage to find her car, toilet papered, shaving cream all over it, and the word bitch written on the windshield.
Right.
She calls Sienna, she's yelling, blah, blah, blah. After
she's mad at her son, she thinks her son did it because she had just yelled at him, and she says, he screwed up my car. I'm so pissed at him, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
After she gets off the phone, she wipes away the window, and Art is in the car, and he's got this little shotgun.
Right.
And he blows her head off through the car window, and her head is destroyed.
Right. Yeah.
After a little time passes, the son, Jonathan, comes home to find his mom seated at the dinner table with her head just destroyed.
It's hair and guts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Art comes in, dressed in an apron, serving dinner like nothing. And then he goes to the mom and he's like, and he makes his faces, which I'm doing on Zoom.
Yes.
The lovely people can't see.
It's perfect though.
But he serves her mashed potatoes, but then, man, he takes a big handful of mashed potatoes and mashes it into her head cavity.
Yes. Yeah.
To me, that affected me more viscerally than anything he did to Allie. There was just something so disgusting about rubbing a handful of food into somebody's destroyed head cavity.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah, pretty gross. And the sound too, there was some good sound effects in this movie because it sounds exactly, if you can imagine pushing mashed potatoes into someone's head cavity, it's that sound. It's exactly that. So like it's pretty effective for sure.
Extremely effective. Oh my God. Yeah. That's the scene that stuck with me.
Interesting. Wow. Okay.
Now, I think
on.
after watching the movie 3 times, I think the alley scene has stuck with me a little bit more than it did after the first viewing.
Right.
But after the first viewing, the scene that I couldn't get out of my head was the mashed potatoes in the face.
Interesting.
And it was just like, because I can't even describe how disgusting it is if somebody hasn't seen it.
Right.
Like, this is one of those things, when you see it, you're just like, oh, come on.
Yeah. It's
and it turns my stomach a little just thinking about it. So I thought maybe that was what people threw up at.
I guess that, it was Allie. But I mean, and maybe some did, but the articles I read, it was like everyone kept calling it that infamous bedroom scene. It was the infamous bedroom scene. You know what I mean? They just kept going on and on.
See, and I'm sitting here thinking of the infamous mashed potato scene.
Right. Yeah. Both are infamous.
I mean, if I mention mashed potatoes to somebody who's seen Terrifier 2, they go like,
yeah.
Oh, I just made a noise myself.
Although I'm not gonna lie, now I kind of want mashed potatoes.
Right? Yeah, me too.
Gross.
All right. I got some critiques.
Oh yeah. Let's hear them, dude.
And it comes down again, not so much, well, a little bit to the acting.
Okay.
But also, hate to say it, but some of the characters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, please. Let's hear it.
Oh my God, Ziggy, leave Bowie alone. Sorry, Bowie. Are you okay? Jeez, my cat.
Bowie, sit on Daddy's lap, okay?
Hi, baby.
So characters and acting. Yeah, I'm
so the mom first of all. Sienna's mom.
Yep.
Barbara.
Barb. Yeah.
Man, she bugged the hell out of me.
I would agree.
She was almost like the quintessential alcoholic mom in a horror movie.
Yep.
Yeah, she wasn't an alcoholic.
You're right.
She was just a woman who was stressed out because of the death of her husband a couple of years prior, the suicide of her husband, actually.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Because he drove into a transformer and burned alive.
That's right.
Which we don't see. We just hear about.
Yep.
But she was just so over the top, like yelling at everything. And I'm just like, just stop.
Yeah.
Like she calls Sienna with the like you mentioned, when she calls Sienna with the toilet paper and the
yes. Yeah.
He's just like, I don't know. And it's just like, dude, just relax. Take it down a notch.
Yep.
You know,
and she is like that through the whole movie. I mean, even every time we see her, like, your brother didn't even put the cereal away right. And it's like, relax. It's okay.
And I get the Damien wanting the character to be this really high-strung, stressed out character, but it was just too much. Like, there was no reprieves except for when Sienna tells her I love you. And then there's like a nice moment.
Yeah.
But that's it.
That's it. Yeah. There was no nice moments, I don't think, even with her and her son.
Right. Yeah, no, there was one little one where I think she realized she was being a little bit too, after she ripped apart the dad's sketchbook.
Oh, right. Okay.
She realized she had been a little bit too harsh.
Right. Yeah, but she, like you said, I mean, it's a cliche character. It's very cliche. So I agree with you. I would agree with you on that for sure.
And then Jonathan, the little brother. I liked him. I did like him. But at times he was a little annoying.
Yeah. I would agree with you on that.
Yeah. And that's all I got to say about that.
Yes, sir. No, I
Forrest Gump right there.
Very good. Run. No, it was, I totally understand that with that character. There were moments I did really like, but there was definitely some where I was like, okay, enough.
Yeah.
Enough. Yeah, fair enough on that. I get that.
I think that's most of the critiques I have. Did you think the movie was a little long? Did you think it was well paced?
I would say they could have gotten rid of 20 minutes. I would say if it was like a 2-hour movie, it would have felt pretty good. I think after hearing your description, I will say the Clown Cafe dream sequence, I felt lingered just a little too long for me. I was like, all right.
After hearing my thing?
No, but sorry, before it. Sorry, okay. I did not finish that thought. Before. Right. Before hearing it, but even after, I guess. I mean, I just feel like I get the relevance now of it, but it just felt like as I was watching, I was like, okay, like move it along. I get it. Something bad's going to happen. Let's get to that point because we're just hearing this song. We're just seeing these kids. We're just hearing the song. We're just seeing these kids. We're just, you know what I mean? I was like, get to what we're getting to personally.
So I get that.
Yeah.
I felt that way. Stop it. I get that. I got that. I felt that way after the first time I saw the movie.
Okay.
I was like, all right, this was a cool dream sequence, but this is just, it seemed to me to be a case where like Leone was just given free reign on the movie. And he's like, I'm going to put in this long ass dream sequence and it's just going to be there. And I get to do it, you know?
Yeah.
But then hearing his description, I will say that my view of that dream sequence has changed.
Okay.
Because now there's real purpose. It's not just Sienna dreaming of Art the Clown and blah, blah, blah. There's an actual purpose to that scene.
Right.
Also, quick commentary. The people, the extras that were like waiting in line to get a treat or whatever.
Are they like workers on the movie?
No, they were all crowdfunders.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like they paid a certain tier, I guess, and they actually were able to be in the movie.
That's cool. I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's
a few parts. I think the club scene, the bar scene, there's some extras in the background that were also crowdfunders. So
cool.
Damien was really, he loves the fans.
Nice. That's awesome.
And,
okay.
Like he's very humble about it. He talks about how much it blows his mind.
That's cool. That's good. I like that. He should be. That's awesome. That's great that they were able to make this because of people.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What did you think? Now, especially now that I've given you explanations of certain things.
Yes.
What did you think of the pale girl, the little girl?
I did like her. I loved that. I thought the little girl was great, actually, like the little actress. I thought she was fun. I will say, as I mentioned in last week's episode, poop stuff, like right away when she starts like just dumping on the floor, I was like, oh my gosh, here we go again.
There was meaning to that, evidently. I forget exactly what Leone said, but it was Art's first time seeing the personification of evil that was brought into our world with his resurrection. But it was also her expelling some evil. Like it was just supposed to be a expelling of evil into
like our world or something.
Yeah, and to show, you know, just as a thing, this is it. Art, hi.
Okay. I mean, fine. I get that, but I was just like, stop.
It's gross. It disgusted me, and I don't dislike it like you do.
Oh, it didn't even disgust me. I just was like, okay, here we go with another like, oh my gosh, did you guys see that part? That was crazy.
But like, you should have been prepared for that this time.
I should have. You're right. But I still wasn't. I was just like, oh gosh, here we go again. To each their own.
Now here's the thing. I read and heard Damien Leone talking about why, because originally she wasn't supposed to look exactly like Art.
Oh, interesting.
But he said that he saw all these people cosplaying as Art online. And he didn't mention any names but the first thing that came to my mind, we can say it on the podcast. I'm sure he can't say it.
Right.
Maybe for legal reasons. Who knows? I don't know.
Sure.
Or maybe it's just not true. But have you ever heard of Kid Dreadful?
I've not.
So there is a little girl on Instagram named Kid Dreadful.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom dresses her up in all kinds of horror-themed cosplays, like really great costumes.
Nice. Is she like about this age? Kind of like...
Yeah. No,
10,
no.
12,
Go
11.
look up her account.
Okay.
And you'll see. Like she's done Art the Clown.
Oh, funny.
And she looks very much like the pale girl.
Interesting. Okay.
So, yeah. I wonder if Leone was inspired by her. He says he was inspired by people online.
Sure.
And he wanted to get ahead of that. And so, but he didn't hire her.
Right.
So I don't know if he'd have to, if he admitted that it was inspired by Kid Dreadful, would he have to pay her money? Like, I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
I don't
probably
know the legality.
right. Better safe than sorry kind of a thing.
But here on Fun with Horror.
That's right. We'll expose the truth.
Oh my God. Real quick, the first the first kill of the movie is the coroner.
Oh yeah, that was the same actor, right?
Yeah, same actor.
Nice. I thought so. I was like, that looks like the same guy. Cool. I'm glad he came back for 2 minutes, but that's awesome.
And they really showed that they were gonna be brutal this movie. Like,
yes.
They started right away.
Yeah. Yep.
Art destroys his face with a bone hammer.
Yes.
A little bone hammer.
Tiny one. Which is comedic in itself. Which
yeah.
Of course
yeah.
would be, it's art, so it has to be.
Oh, but what's even more comedic is, remember, Art, his eye was stabbed out in the first movie, so he's got one eye. He takes the guy's eye and puts it in his eye socket.
It's like
that was
poking
fantastic.
Out. That was, and then smiles at him like, oh,
yeah,
see, I got your
the way
eye.
he mimes it, and then like when he's talking again in the laundromat,
yes.
when he's sitting there miming with the pale girl,
yeah,
and he's just like his eye got popped out. Dude, I loved that scene. I loved, like, David Howard Thornton took Art to another level in this movie as far as the miming goes.
For sure. Yeah. And you know what was funny is at one point, I'm jumping back to the little girl. At one point, I thought, because that little girl did such a great job on his smile too, that creepy smile. I thought like maybe it was like a fake, like a, I don't know, makeup smile that she was like biting into something and it was like on her face. You know what I mean? Like it was claymation.
I think there was something inside their mouths. I think both Art and her have prosthetics in their mouths.
Okay, I just wasn't sure, but I was like, wow, she's really good too. But I was wondering if it was something like that. I know obviously they don't have teeth that look like that, but I just wasn't sure if it was. I don't know how they did it. I'm kind of curious.
It was whatever they did. It's really good. And once again, Leone did the makeup effects himself.
He's awesome. Wow, that's super impressive. That guy does have some serious talent.
Absolutely. So Art kills the guy in the laundromat. Mm-hmm. You see Art mopping stuff up with a broom with a broken off end, and as he leaves, you see the other end of the broomstick just sticking in the guy's head. That was fun.
That was fun.
But I also I love the fact that Art just, the first thing he does after the coroner and he's resurrected, he just goes to a laundromat to wash all his stuff.
Yeah.
I still wonder how he got his face so clean.
I know. I was curious about that too. We do see his little behind though as well for a second.
Oh, we do see his behind.
Woo!
But we saw his behind in the first movie. Remember when he was naked?
Oh, you're right.
With the lady's boobs.
Yep, you're right. We did see his little
wearing
little
the lady's flesh.
Yeah. Typical Art.
So here's another movie, buddy. I'm going to go to the music real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Wiley, once again, did the musical score.
Nice. Okay.
However, in this movie, Leone was able to get a whole bunch of different electronic synthwave artists to contribute songs. And I thought there was a lot of times where I thought, oh, Paul Wiley's doing this synthwave type music, but no, it's all different kinds of artists. Like the first time we see Sienna, and she's making her costume.
Yep.
We hear this song and it's by a band called The Midnight.
Cool.
And they're a really good synthwave band.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say that I loved. There's things I loved about this movie. I love the music.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that Sienna was a synthwave fan, that she's listening to synthwave. It set this feeling throughout the movie. All this synthwave music.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
But then I also freaking loved the way the movie was shot and the color palette.
Mm-hmm.
It had this bluish pinkish look throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, I caught that.
Ooh, I loved it, man.
It looked, and I think that was also one of those things where I thought it looked better than the first one, just style wise. It did
for
look
sure,
a lot better. So
even though the first one did have some of that look to it, just not as much. But yeah, this one was definitely shot better.
Yep. Yep.
But oh man, Sienna's such a good character.
She was fun, dude. She was a lot of fun. And I like that she took her dad's design. I thought that was fun.
Yes
character that he created and used that as her costume.
But did she know okay, remind me, because her brother shows her the sketchbook. Did she even know that it was her dad's character? She did, right?
Yeah, she did.
Okay,
yep, she knew it.
Yep.
Yeah,
because her brother says dad would be proud or something.
Yeah.
Or mom even says that after berating her for being so revealing.
Right.
Damien Leone said that Sienna is absolutely his favorite character that he's ever written.
Nice.
For anything.
Awesome.
And
that makes sense.
He was super complimentary of Lauren LaVera, who came in and embodied this character that he loved and who also respected and loved this character she was playing.
Good. That's awesome.
Her name, Sienna. So she's an artist, as you can tell.
Right. Yeah.
She was named after Bob Ross, who often talked about the color burnt sienna.
Oh, that's awesome. He did. That's amazing. That's awesome.
Let's jump to so the school. The little kid, the little brother goes to school, and we have the whole possum thing. Now, the school was full of cameos.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So first of all, I don't know. So there's movies you haven't seen, my friend.
Yeah.
But do you know who Felissa Rose is?
I can't.
She was in Sleepaway Camp as a little girl.
Was she like the main?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And now she's very present and public in the horror community. She goes to a lot of different conventions, and she's been in some movies. But the principal of the school, what are you doing over there? You know, that principal, that was Felissa Rose. So that was really cool.
Nice.
The two boys that Jonathan meets up with, the two boys playing with the dead possum. See, again, only one of them you might have recognized. The one boy, do I have names here? I should have names. Yeah. Griffin Santo Pietro played Eric. He's the little brother in Cobra Kai, which I know
funny.
You weren't a huge fan of.
Right. Yeah.
I just said that to get you tons of hate mail. So
that's okay. Yeah. I don't like the show very much. I mean, I understand the appeal, but it's just not for me.
There you go. I respect you for it.
Thanks, man. I respect you.
But the other little boy, the actor's name is Owen Meyer. The character's name is Sean. You might have recognized him as the little brother in Psycho Goreman.
Oh, really? Nice. Yeah. That's
but
awesome.
even I saw him and I was like, hey, he looks kind of familiar.
Right. Yeah.
And I looked him up. I was like, oh, of course. I was like, Andrew's gonna love this. It's his favorite movie.
Stop it.
Let's see. So yeah, there was that. The dead possum scene. I mean, that was whatever. Yeah. Although, I mean, that just, I don't even know. Yeah. I mean, I did write a note that said, the best way to, like, you bring over a pretty girl and gross her out with a dead possum. Yeah, that's going to get you points.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, boys are stupid.
They are.
And they don't learn.
It's true. No, that's a fact.
But there's the cool scene in the hallway with the possum. And now Damien didn't say this, but when Jonathan runs away from Art and the pale girl playing with the dead possum and they throw the possum at him.
Right. Yeah.
He bumps into a teacher who says, hey, no running in the hallway.
Nightmare.
Now, if that wasn't a definite homage to Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, totally.
What did you think of the Halloween store scene?
Oh, I thought it was fun. I liked it. I liked it just because I love Halloween stores anyway. So it was kind of fun to be in there. And Art, of course, is creepy as ever in there, which was a lot of fun. And then I did love too, after he kills they leave, and then Art kills the manager there, and then
Destroys
hides out
him.
with cuts his head off, and then hides out with all the animatronic clowns as the mom and son look in and see him. And I was like, that's kind of awesome. Like, I thought that was pretty good.
Now, some things about that scene.
Yeah.
First of all, this was obviously the equivalent to the pizzeria scene in the first movie.
Yep.
Because Art's just standing there making faces.
Right. Getting booted out. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to stop real quick. I just saw a notification because yesterday I wrote a tweet about how good Damien Leone's commentary was.
Yeah, dude.
I just got a notification on my phone.
Yeah.
That Lauren LaVera liked that tweet.
Nice.
After Damien Leone liked it earlier this morning.
That's awesome.
Or yes, last night. Sorry. But I'm just like, I'm grinning right now. I know it's just somebody liking a tweet, but man, it's Lauren LaVera.
And what timing, dude?
What timing while we're talking about it live.
Dude, that's awesome. Live. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Okay, so she leaves her, she gets to the counter. So
Right.
This is so cool, dude. So when she realizes she doesn't have her bag with her, that was a continuity error.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was supposed to have it with her, but she left it upstairs, and they were like, "Oh, okay." But instead of reshooting it, David Howard Thornton was like, "What if Art just brings it to her?"
Nice.
And so that part where he puts it on the counter, I was just like, "Holy crap, that's creepy."
That's awesome.
And I loved it. Also,
That's awesome.
the part where Art is trying on all the glasses.
Yeah. Yes.
It's an homage to Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, nice.
So I love that. I love all that.
That is awesome.
But here we go. Here's a couple of critiques I have for this movie.
Okay.
Part of the unrealism for me.
Okay.
A year earlier, Art the Clown
Yes.
massacred 9 people.
Right.
And especially Sienna knows this.
Right.
So this guy that looks exactly like Art the Clown shows up at this Halloween store.
Yeah.
Does she call the police? No.
She does not.
No, she just calls her friends,
Yeah.
tells them that she saw this guy.
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
And yeah, I was like,
Yeah, that might be. I get that.
And then Art shows up at Allie's house, trick-or-treating. Allie even sees inside his bag and sees bloody tools.
Right. Yes.
Andrew, does she call the police?
She does not.
No, she doesn't.
No,
she
doesn't
calls
do that.
Sienna.
Yep.
Because that's what you do. You don't call the
You
police
call your friends.
when a guy who may be a murderer
Yep.
shows up at your door.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh man.
So
This whole movie could have been avoided.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yep.
Or at least have the cops show up and find a dead Halloween store owner.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yep.
So let's see. Do I have his? Yeah, okay. So let's talk about the Halloween store owner's kill. It's
Yes.
a good one.
Mm-hmm.
He's stabbed in the eye socket with a broken off bottle.
Yes.
Okay, that was pretty gross.
Yeah.
Then Art, as he's laying on the ground, takes a rusty cleaver and just
Chops his head off.
chops them in the head, and then
Oh my
then
gosh.
decapitates him
Yes.
and puts his head in the store decorations.
Yes.
It was good. That was a good
It was
kill.
good. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
I think they're all pretty good kills in this movie.
Yeah.
The mom, here's a trivia.
Lay
The
it on
mom
me.
who shows up outside the Halloween store with the kid,
Mm-hmm.
she is Tamara Glenn, who was in Halloween 5.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yeah. I need to rewatch Halloween 5, but I thought that was a cool little thing. Let's see. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. This is the next day.
Mhm.
The day of Halloween is the day that Monica Brown is killed or
Yes.
is disfigured. And also, one thing we didn't mention about Allie's kill, jumping ahead here,
Mm-hmm.
is Art handing out candy to the kids out of Allie's mom's decapitated head.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. That was good.
Okay, so there's the club scene. in which Sienna lets loose on the dance floor. This is the second horror movie this year where one of the main characters lets loose on a dance floor.
This is true.
Needing to let loose, yes. The other one being the phenomenal Halloween Ends.
The controversial Halloween Ends.
Yes. So most of the movie then takes place, because we've talked about the mom dying and the mashed potatoes. Art gets the little boy, gets him with a syringe.
Yep.
Rest of the movie takes place at this carnival.
Yeah.
In which we find out that Terrifier is the name of a carnival ride.
Yes.
It's a haunted house.
Yeah. I thought that was fun.
Yay.
Cute. Good.
So now Terrifier has a purpose instead of just being a movie that terrifies you.
Right.
So, okay, so let's talk about the kills. Jeff, first of all, gets out of the car to pee. Yep. What does Art do?
Stabs him in the groin.
In the pee-pee.
Yep.
Which, that was very funny. I've got to go pee-pee.
Yeah.
He gets out of the car. Anyway, yeah. Art stabs him multiple times in the crotch, then reaches into the bloody mess and pulls out rips off his penis.
Yes. Yeah.
And then Brooke is in the driver's seat at this point, and Art comes up to the driver's window and pushes the penis against the window.
Yes.
Breaks into the car and almost grabs her, but then she gets away, right? She runs into the carnival. Now here's the thing. We never see Jeff die.
That's true. We don't.
I mean, I'm going to assume that he's dead, and I hope he is after what happened to him.
Yeah.
But maybe he'll come back in Terrifier 3.
He might be another victim clown.
Oh, a victim clown.
Like the little girl.
I like it. Yeah, so but at that point, that's where okay, we talked about the dad. Brooke reveals to Jeff before they die, or before Jeff is massacred, that Sienna's dad killed himself.
Yes.
Okay, blah blah blah. So here we go. This is kind of parallel to Terrifier 1, where everything just starts to happen.
Right.
And
yeah.
There's a lot, but this was way more interesting to me than Terrifier 1. Everything that happens in the carnival.
Yeah.
Because Jonathan wakes up and he sees the pale girl doing something to her face, and she turns around. Her face is mutilated.
Right. Yeah.
She's mutilated her own face. Now, unanswered questions. Is that what Art did to the little girl that he killed at the carnival? Because they mentioned that a little girl was killed at this carnival a couple of years earlier.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, also, we left this out. Jeff is wearing a shirt that has a knife with a little blood on the end of it that says "just the tip."
Oh yeah.
So when before Art kills Jeff, stabs him in the crotch, he writes just the tip on the driver's side window for Brooke to see.
Nice. He gets it.
Brooke runs into a disgusting bathroom set inside the carnival. And now here's an issue I had, my friend. So she's running from Art the clown.
Yes.
She has tripped and fallen. She's cut her leg from doing so. She runs into this Terrifier haunted house, into this bathroom set. Now, my thought when she ran in there was, this is a haunted house. There can't be just one door into this bathroom set.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's always two.
And that is proven later on by Sienna walking in through the back.
That's right.
Back door. So why doesn't Brooke just keep running? Keep going.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, she stays. And we have the death of Brooke.
Yes. Oh, Brooke.
Art throws acid into her face.
So bad.
Which is horrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to be laughing. Earlier in the movie, he had been making a club Oh, this is cool. Okay, I'm gonna jump back a little bit, buddy. I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
It's all good.
The part where he's making the club with all the sharp instruments sticking out of it. The pale girl is sitting on the floor and she's
Right.
watching the broadcast of Monica Brown and Victoria. That is the exact moment that we
Yes.
see at the beginning of Terrifier 1.
Yes.
But
Yep.
at that time, we couldn't see the pale girl.
Right. Oh, right.
So now that we, the audience, we know who she is, we can see her now.
Nice.
That was the
I
idea.
like that. I like that.
So
I like it.
if you go back and watch Terrifier 1, at the very beginning, you're like, oh, Art is making tools at this point.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
So anyway, he uses that club and just after he throws acid in Brooke's face, he uses the club and hits her in the back with it. Then she's on the ground. He hits her in the kneecap.
Mm-hmm.
And he destroys her kneecap.
Yeah.
Which is almost worse than what he does to her chest afterwards.
Oh,
I don't know,
gosh,
man.
Yeah.
Because then he just starts beating her in the chest with this club and just tearing her chest apart, opening a cavity up in her chest. And then he reaches in, pulls
Takes
out
her
her
heart.
still beating heart and starts eating it.
Yeah.
Now, this is another unanswered question. Does Art get life force?
Oh, yeah.
Since this is now a supernatural movie, much more so than the first movie.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Does Art get life force from eating people?
I guess I could see that.
Or does he just like to eat them?
I mean, have you tried people?
Yes, twice.
They're pretty good.
So that's how Brooke dies.
Yes.
Sienna runs into the back door where Brooke should have run out.
Yes.
I love the shot of Art just standing there in the doorway.
Yes. Yeah, that was fun.
But then then we see Jonathan behind Art, and when Art turns around to notice Jonathan, Sienna stabs Art with a board with a nail in it.
Yes.
Okay. But Art turns around, he throws her around, then kicks her and basically knocks her out. Then he's chasing Jonathan. He slices Jonathan with a scalpel in the back. Like,
yep.
Then Sienna grabs his club. She wakes up, she grabs his club and comes out and hits him. Hits Art. Okay. Now they get separated, maybe? I forget how they get separated.
I can't really remember.
But she basically, Jonathan ends up in this church set in this haunted house. Art, he thinks he's alone, but Art is disguised as one of the dummies there.
Yeah.
So Art gets up, he grabs the flagellum, the cat of nine tails from the first movie, and starts beating Jonathan. Now, this was a cool part for me because I like the way Sienna comes in and starts to protect Jonathan.
Yeah, that was nice.
Like Art throws her against the wall, but then he's whipping Jonathan with this thing, and it's painful.
Yeah.
And then Sienna just gets on top of him and is just protecting. And this is part of the hero thing that she's going through.
Right.
You know, the force of good, protecting everything she can do to protect her little brother.
Yes.
But then Art is about to... Oh, yeah, wait. Oh, man, there's so much to this. She eventually catches the cat of nine tails and starts whipping Art with it.
Yes.
Then she rips part of his face off with it.
Yeah.
It catches in his face and rips part of his skin off. And then she takes a metal rod and stabs Art down through the head.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is cool because this is where, because Art comes back again. So this is the part where I think she starts to realize that nothing she can do is going to help. You know, she's Art is immortal basically.
Right.
But she comes back. She's Jonathan, Art's on top of her. And choking her, and Jonathan shoots him with the shotgun that Art used to kill his mom.
Right. Yes.
Justice. Sienna then she's out of it. She's having a vision of her mom. There's a moment, and like Damien said that he wanted there to be a moment where she realizes her mom is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the moment.
Nice.
She comes out of this vision to see Art standing over Jonathan. She comes up and just starts hitting him, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But Art grabs her and is pushing her backwards. She knows she's lost. So all she can do is spit blood in his face and say, F you.
Yeah.
Art pushes her over. He's trying to get her in this hell portal. So
Right.
he pushes her into this room. She falls a long way.
Yeah.
Then he comes down and he stabs her through the stomach with her sword.
Right.
Now, in a hero's story, this is very important. You cannot kill the hero with his own weapon. Or with her own weapon.
Right, right.
But Art stabs her through the stomach, pushes her into the hell portal. We've talked about this, how she ends up in the clown cafe and then she comes back.
Right.
And yeah, Art is eating Jonathan.
Yes.
But she stabs Art in the back. And that's it. We've talked about everything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
The pale girl walks out with Art's head, and then Victoria gives
birth to a head.
Gives birth to Art's head.
It's a trippy movie, man.
And there's one more cameo, Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I knew that one. Yeah.
Horror fanatic, wrestling champion.
I knew that one right away. I was like, I know that guy.
Well, I had
He's
forgotten. He's in the opening credits. It mentions Chris Jericho in the
I
opening
totally
credits.
missed it.
Yeah,
oh, that's
totally.
awesome.
And then
That's
at the end, it's like, oh, there he is.
There he is.
I think I've touched on everything.
Nice.
Even everything that, like, there's little things that I'm not going to get into. You know, there are cool things like there's a tentacle coming up holding her leg underwater. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I think there's still unanswered things, but I do think that Damien's going to continue. Like, I honestly felt even before listening to his commentary that there was a lot of stuff that he was leaving open to possibly answer in the next movie.
I get that. I could see that for sure.
And this movie definitely made the money.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah. It did well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see it 3.
As opposed to how much they spent making it, they made a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. We'll definitely see a Terrifier 3.
But until that time, Andrew.
Yes.
Are you ready for 3 questions?
Let's do 3 questions.
Who would cross the bridge of death must answer these questions 3.
All right, friend. Question numero uno. What would you say was the best?
The Beth kill.
The Beth kill. The best death/kill.
This is a tough one. This is really tough because, you know, definitely the most brutal is probably Allie.
Right.
You know, you got to say, because it just goes over the top and Damien's just like, what can we do?
Right.
How much more can we do to this person?
Right.
But again, the one that affected me the most was the mashed potatoes in Mom's face.
Nice. All right. Yeah.
Like the kill itself was not that memorable.
Right. Right.
Just him blowing her head off with a shotgun. But I don't know. The mashed potatoes in the face stuck with me.
Fair enough.
What about you?
I think Allie, just because it was so insane. And
yeah, you like that one?
Well, I mean, I think it was the best one. It wasn't my favorite.
It's the one you want to recreate?
No.
It was
not my favorite, but of them all, that one was quite extravagant.
Which is why we don't say our favorite.
Right, exactly.
Once again.
Otherwise, we're psychos. All right, friend. Was this movie scary, though?
Again, kind of like Terrifier 1. It's not scary to me, but there is something inherently scary about a killer like Art with no remorse whatsoever, with no good in him at all.
Right, right.
He only lives to mutilate and cause pain and death.
Right.
There's no redeeming qualities for Art.
No.
Except that we as an audience love to watch David Howard Thornton play him.
Right. Yes, that's true.
In that respect, I think there are some moments of the movie that, if you relate it to real life, are a little bit scary.
Sure.
But also, if I saw a serial killer in a Halloween store, I would call the cops.
Yes. Yes.
What about you?
I don't think it was scary. Like I said, it was more gross in certain areas, or disturbing, but
Less disturbing than the first movie?
yeah, maybe. Yeah, but not scary to me.
I think the story of Sienna and the whole good versus evil story, I think it makes it less scary and more fantastical.
Agreed. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yep.
Because that's the other thing. This movie goes into the supernatural way more.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
The first one is about just a guy killing people.
Yeah.
The second one is a whole supernatural thing, and that lends it a disconnect between, because obviously supernatural stuff is less believable than a guy killing people.
Right. Yep. I agree. Well then, friend, did you have fun with horror? I think I know this one.
Man, I love this movie. I had so much fun. I mean, it's hard to say that I found watching Allie's death fun.
Right.
But as a movie, I think Damien did an amazing job, and I think he's getting better as a director and a storyteller.
Yeah.
And a creator.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what he does for Terrifier 3.
Fair enough.
What about you?
Yeah, I think overall, yeah. I'm glad you answered those questions. That helps. So I think it was fun. Yeah, and I am curious about Terrifier 3. I will definitely watch it. But now I'm more curious about where it would go. So
do you think you will ever watch Terrifier 2 again?
Maybe. In a while, maybe.
Long pause.
I had to think about it. Maybe.
Would you watch Terrifier 2 again before you watch Psycho Goreman again?
No, I think I'd watch Psycho Goreman first. Yeah, I would.
Wow. Well, I hope this episode does better than our Psycho Goreman episode.
Me too. That was what we were going to talk about.
We'll talk about it in a moment.
Yes.
But until then,
yes.
Let's get to our next movie.
Okay.
Did you guys hear about Monica Brown this morning?
Oh, that bitchy talk show host?
Yeah, that bitchy talk show host totally got her face torn off.
What?
Okay, get this. So she had that Miles County survivor on. Do you remember the one who was in the coma and her face was all mutilated? What was her name? It was like, I don't know, Victoria or something.
Victoria Hayes?
Yes. She had a meltdown on the show, right? And then backstage, she went full-on psycho and mauled Monica Brown with her bare hands.
No way.
Oh my god. Is she dead?
I mean, if she's lucky.
Okay, well, that was Terrifier 2. Terrifier Dos. Terrifier the Second.
Yes. Part 2.
The Return of the Terrifier. Andrew.
Yes.
That leads us to one thing. Actually, so buddy.
Yeah.
I gotta wish you a Merry Christmas, because this is the last episode that's going to be released before Christmas.
True.
But we'll see what you pick. We still the episode after this is on the 27th. It could still be a Christmas episode, and we're gonna record it before Christmas.
This is true. This
is all confusing to the listeners. Go ahead and tell us what our next movie is.
I am doing a Christmas movie. I am, because
what is it?
Well, for a few reasons. One, we did it last year. I was like, we gotta do some holiday movie. It's fun. You gotta do something around this time. We did Black Christmas.
We did do Black Christmas, and we did Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Silent Night, Deadly Night. Yes. So I was like, we gotta do something. Plus, friend of the show, Dan, had texted me and said, "Hey, I can't wait for the next Christmas episode." And I was like, "I got it."
Oh wow,
wow, man! So I'm doing a new movie, brand new movie.
What?
We'll see. We'll see how it is, though, buddy. You posted a trailer to it. And it's a movie called Christmas Bloody Christmas, which is available on Shudder or in select theaters. Yes. I want
also
like
real quick.
Yeah.
F you, AMC.
Okay.
AMC had just made the news because they're doing a whole crap load of layoffs, and they own Shudder, so a lot of people got laid off at Shudder as well. So let's hope that Shudder remains as amazing as it is.
Right before holidays. Way to go, AMC.
Yeah, good job, AMC bastards.
No, I wanted to do a new one though, like a newer Christmas movie. And this one, you had posted the trailer. It's getting better reviews than I thought it would. So I was like, hey man, we're doing a Christmas movie. We're doing Christmas Bloody Christmas, period.
Christmas Bloody Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. I will be honest with you, buddy. I did not watch the trailer.
Fair enough.
I have no idea what this movie's about.
Good.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a entertaining movie for the holidays, I hope.
Now, real quick, since maybe I'll save it. I'll save it, but I have to write it down.
Okay.
Because we forgot that we wanted to talk about our least listened to episodes.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that at the end of the year.
I think that sounds fun. Let's do that.
I'll save it. Cliffhanger. What? Was that a car alarm?
Yes. Yeah. My alarm went up. Ooh, then we got into Psycho right there.
Oh wow, maybe Psycho the music was inspired by car alarms.
Did we just crack the code? My gosh.
Bernard Herrmann, who composed the score to Psycho, went into the future.
Yep.
Heard a car alarm.
Yep.
Went back into the past and said, "This is what I'm doing."
Yep. And then went back to the future. I don't know. That's all I got for that. I just wanted to mention.
Okay, then.
Future.
Buddy, I love you.
I love you too, man.
Man, hey, happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you.
Happy holidays and Happy Christmahana Kwanzaa.
That was really good.
Thanks, man.
I didn't even have that written down.
I didn't. No, it was an old commercial they said it on, and I was like, that covers some bases, man. So Christmahana Kwanzaa.
This is your first Christmas as an actual father.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be interesting. Man.
Actual sperm gave birth to a little baby.
Well,
you know what I mean?
There you go. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sure.
Biologicals is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah,
in all those words, I meant to say biological.
That's the one.
So, congratulations, pal.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
All right. Well, bye.
Bye.
Aren't you a little old to be trick-or-treating? Wait a minute, aren't you that guy from the costume shop? You are. What are you doing here? Oh. Seriously, do you live around here or something? You're really weird, you know that? Yeah. Look, I get it, dude. The whole creepy silent mime gimmick, I mean, it's very effective, and the blood is a nice touch also. Yeah. I can't give you anything. No, I'm sorry. Really, no candy for grown-ups. Come on.